Five things moving the markets this week, June 22nd, 2026. Iran ceasefire wobbles. Market reassesses the biggest macro story of the year. Just days after the market celebrated the US-Iran framework agreement, investors are being reminded that peace deals are often easier to announce than implement. Early negotiations have proven difficult. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains well below normal levels, and uncertainty has returned to energy markets. Oil initially collapsed on hopes of a lasting agreement, but has since been volatile again as traders reassess whether the ceasefire will hold. The market's focus has shifted from headlines to execution. Investors want evidence that energy flows can return to normal before fully removing the geopolitical risk premium. The significance extends well beyond oil, of course. The outcome of these negotiations will influence inflation expectations, central bank policy, corporate earnings, and global growth forecasts throughout the second half of 2026. What's the takeaway? The Iran ceasefire remains the single most important macro story in global markets, but investors are becoming more cautious about assuming a smooth resolution. They're building their resilience. The Americans are increasingly perceived to be begging for peace, and that could annoy the American president. Ironically, they know the statements of the American president cannot be believed as much as those of the Iranian one. So there is much possibility of an American tantrum and end to peace negotiations. Number two, oil markets remain the key inflation driver. The oil market has experienced extraordinary swings over the past month after surging during the conflict and then falling sharply on ceasefire hopes. Crude is once again responding to uncertainty surrounding Hormuz shipping and the pace of normalization. The conflict exposed just how dependent the global economy remains on Middle East energy flows. Governments around the world are now accelerating efforts to build strategic oil reserves after seeing how quickly supply disruptions can affect inflation, growth, and the financial markets. For investors, the key issue is not whether oil returns to pre-crisis levels immediately. It is whether energy markets remain stable enough to allow inflation pressures to continue easing. So what's the takeaway? Oil prices may be lower than their crisis peaks, but energy remains the most important variable for inflation and central bank policy. Number three, central banks may finally get some breathing room. A few weeks ago, investors feared a renewed inflation shock driven by energy prices. Today, central bankers are watching a more balanced picture emerge. Lower oil prices, of course, compared with the height of the conflict, have eased some of these concerns. This combination is allowing markets to revisit the possibility of rate cuts later in the year, although policymakers remain cautious. The challenge for the Federal Reserve, the ECB, and the Bank of England is that inflation has improved, but not completely disappeared. Any renewed disruption in energy markets could quickly complicate the outlook. Again, investors are therefore paying close attention to inflation, labor market, central bank commentary over the coming weeks. What's the takeaway? The rate outlook has improved, but central banks are not ready to declare victory over inflation. So we then move on to number four. Keir Starmer's resignation adds a new political risk for UK markets. One of the biggest political stories of the week is the resignation of the UK Prime Minister. Keir Starmer, of course, and we expect Andy Burnham in September will be the new British Prime Minister. So far, financial markets have reacted calmly. Sterling weakened slightly and gilt yields remain relatively stable, suggesting investors had largely anticipated the move. The bigger question is what happens next. Markets will be watching closely to see whether the incoming leadership maintains the fiscal discipline that has reassured bond investors over the past 2 years. For international investors, political stability matters because the UK remains one of the world's largest financial centres. Any major shift in fiscal policy, taxation, or spending priorities could affect sterling, gilts, and UK equities and inward investment. The takeaway, the immediate market reaction has been modest, but investors will be watching the new government's economic agenda very closely, and in particular, who will be the next chancellor. So, we're relieved there's been a modest reaction. Number five, we now come to, is AI continues to power global equity markets. While geopolitics dominates headlines, artificial intelligence remains the market's most powerful structural growth story. Technology stocks continue attracting capital. Semiconductor demand remains strong, and AI infrastructure spending shows little sign of slowing. What's changing is the quality of the rally. Investors are becoming more selective and focusing increasingly on companies generating real earnings and cash flow from AI rather than simply benefiting from the narrative. At the same time, the AI theme is spreading across industries. Financial services, healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics companies are increasingly deploying AI to improve productivity and profitability, and we're getting clients on the Great Investments Program into these. The result is a broader investment story than pure semiconductor rally that's dominated early stages of this boom. The takeaway: AI remains the strongest long-term growth theme in global markets, but fundamentals are becoming more important than hype. Have a look at the Great Investments Program. Have a look at alpeshpatel.com for more.